Welcome to lecture number 9, sniffing. So in this lecture, what we are going to discuss means what is sniffing, how sniffer works, the protocols vulnerable to sniffing, wiretapping and its types, then types of sniffing, and finally, we are going to see a list of tools. Okay, what are the tools used for sniffing? Okay, that is called the sniffing tools. So this is what we are going to discuss in this particular lecture. Now, what is sniffing? Means sniffing is a process, okay, of monitoring all the packets sent by a source. Okay, for example, I'm talking to you. Okay, I am the source and you are the destination. Now, whatever the packets coming from my machine to your machine, okay, from a source to a destination, the packets are okay coming. Now, what are the packets exchanged between the two devices? Okay, a third person, a third party is going to take a copy of all your packets. Okay, a third person is going to take a copy of all the packets without our knowledge. Without our knowledge. So this is going to be sniffing. Okay, there are different methods available in sniffing. Okay, so but the basic is we can say in another way we can say it is called man in the middle attack. Okay, man in the middle attack. What is that man in the middle attack means? A third party, a third person is going to observe or is going to monitor or is going to listen. Okay, whatever it is, he is going to take a copy of all the communication, all the packets which are sent from the source to the destination. Okay, this is called sniffing. Okay, you can see. This is a process of monitoring and capturing all the packets passing through a given network using sniffing tools. So he is going to use some tools. By using that particular tools, okay, all the packets will be taken. A copy of the packets will be taken by the attacker. So we can say this is called a man in the middle attack. This is also called wiretapping methods. Wiretapping. Okay, even in telephone. Okay, I'm just taking my mobile and I'm calling you. Okay, I'm just talking to someone. So whatever I'm talking, this can be recorded by a third party. So a third party, okay, a service provider or someone else, they can completely record whatever I'm talking in my mobile phone. So this is called mobile tapping. So a third person is going to listen. Okay, is going to listen whatever the communication taking place between two computers. Okay, this is called sniffing concept. This is a very dangerous one actually. Okay, it's a dangerous one because all information the attacker will collect. Okay, about you. Okay, see, many enterprises switch ports are open. Anyone in the same physical location can plug in into the network using the Ethernet cable. Okay, what is this? I will explain. You take. In our college, there are so many switches. Okay, switches available. The switches are installed in many places. So what I can do means I can take a RJ45. Okay, I'm taking a cable. I'm just going to connect the RJ45. Okay, my cable by using RJ45, I can connect my laptop and I can sniff all the packets which are coming for a switch. Okay, even in your home, you are using the switches. Okay, that means you are using the routers, ADSL routers. So in the ADSL routers, anybody can just plug in. Okay, they can plug in a cable and they can connect it to their laptop and they can collect all the packets. So this is called sniffing. Okay, yes, sniffing means capturing the packet of others without their knowledge. Okay, this is called sniffing. Now, what you can sniff or what can be sniffed means these are all the types. Okay, that means we can sniff a email packets, we can sniff, that is called the email traffic. FTP, file transfer protocols, passwords, web traffic, that means HTML packets, telnet packets, router configuration packet, chat sessions, okay, DNS traffic. So all these things we can sniff. Okay, so sniffing is possible. Any type of packet, this is not the complete list. Any type of packet exchanged between two devices, it can be sniffed by a third party. Okay, that is called the sniffing. And these are all the different types of sniffing. Okay, that means different types of packets we can sniff. Then The next one is what can be sniffed. That means a sniffer means the attacker constantly is going to monitor the network traffic. Okay, constantly is going to monitor the network traffic, and then through the network interface card. So network interface card, this is the layer 2 device. So this device, okay, is available in all the computers. So through the network interface card, you can collect the packets from the different sources, and you can do the sniffing. Okay, if you're not understanding, no need to worry. You can find it. Okay, the things you will understand slowly in the coming slides. Now, sniffing can be either active or passive. Most of the sniffing will be passive sniffing only. After that, the attacker will do the analysis, okay, in the captured packets, and then the attacker will find some useful information from the packets. Now, what is active sniffing? What is passive sniffing? Now, I'm going for the passive sniffing. As I already told, most of the sniffing will be passive only. You can use any device, any networking device you can use. You can use your hub, you can use your switches, even you can use your computers, laptops, you can for this passive sniffing. Okay, you can see passive sniffing means sniffing through a hub. So hub is a networking device. It is a layer 1 device. Okay, so using this particular device, okay, a hub traffic sends to all the ports. So what is a hub means? Suppose a 4 computers connected in a hub. Okay, 4 computers connected in a hub means hub is going to do the broadcasting. So whatever the packets it received, okay, whatever the packets it is receiving from one device, automatically it is going to forward it to all, okay, to everybody. So the third person is going to listen to all the traffic. Okay, so I'll just make a very small diagram so that you can understand very easily. Okay, you can see. So this is a hub. Okay, a hub device is available. I'm going to have 4 computers. I'm going to have. Okay, 4 different computers I'm going to connect here. So this is first computer. I'm having 4 computers connected with this hub. Okay, I'm going to connect with this hub. Okay, just assume I connected. Okay, now, so if your first machine is sending a data, a packet means the hub is going to broadcast to everyone. Okay, the hub will broadcast the same packet to everyone. So if someone is an attacker here, okay, for example, if this person is an attacker means he is going to take a copy of that. If it is not an attacker, they will simply reject that packet. They will throw that packet out. But if it is an attacker, the attacker is simply going to collect all the packets. So about all the devices, the attacker will come to know. So hub by nature itself, okay, it is enabling sniffing. Okay, sniffing is very easy. Okay, it is very easy and it is possible. Okay, by default it is happening in hub. So that's why we are not using the device hub. Hubs we are not using. So hubs we remove. Okay, completely. Okay, it is outdated. We are not at all using the device hub. So what we are doing? We are using the intelligent device. So what is the intelligent device means? We are using switches. So switch is not going to broadcast. Okay, switches are not going to broadcast, but hub is going to do broadcast. So using the hub, easily the attackers, okay, you can see the hub usage is completely outdated. It is completely outdated. So we are not at all using, okay, the hub. Okay, we remove the hub. Okay, it is a layer 1 device and we are using the switches. So the switches is the layer 3 device. Okay, layer 2 device. So layer 2 device, okay, we are using, that is the switches we are using very effectively nowadays. So this is called passive sniffing. So passive sniffing means whether you like it or not, automatically the packet will reach you. Okay, the packet will reach you and you can capture the packet of others, you can observe it and you can understand a lot of information from that. Okay, so this is called the passive sniffing. Now, active sniffing. So what is active sniffing means? In active sniffing, you are going to, that means the attacker is going to create. Okay, the attacker is going to create a situation like that. This is by default. Passive sniffing is default. In hub, this is happening by default. But here, it is not like that. The attacker is going to create that. Okay, the attacker is going to create a situation where the sniffing takes place. Okay, for example, I'm taking a switch. In switch, by default, there is no sniffing. Okay, I repeat the point, in switches, by default, okay, in switches, by default, there is no sniffing attack. Sniffing attack is not going on. But the attacker, artificially, the attacker is going to create sniffing in the switches. Okay, we are going to see. These are all the examples. One is called MAC flooding. Second one is a DHCP attack, a DNS poisoning, snooping attacks, ARP snooping. All these 5 concepts we are going to see in our slides, okay, in the coming slides in a detailed way. So how the attackers are creating, okay, how the attackers can create an active sniff if is. So there is a word available here, okay, content addressable memory. There is a table called CAM table. I'm not explaining this now. Okay, I will explain this in the coming slides, okay, because the same concept we are going to discuss, so we can see it there. Okay, so the summary. So what is the summary means? Active sniffing means by using the switches we can do. By default, sniffing is not allowed. Okay, it is not allowed. It is completely stopped in the switches. But whereas in the in hubs, by default it will be available. But here it is not available in the switches. It is not available. But a hacker or an attacker can create a sniffing attack, okay, in layer 2 also. That means in the switches also you can create. So examples: MAC flooding, DHCP attacks, DNS poisoning, snooping attacks, and ARP snooping. So this is we are going to discuss, okay, in the coming slides. Now, let me go to the next slide. How sniffer works. Okay, this is a very basic concept. Okay, how the sniffing concept, okay, particularly active sniffing. How the active sniffing is working means, now you can see, this is, okay, 1, 2, 3. I have 3 computers connected to a switch. Okay, connected to a switch. So, okay, connected to a switch. We already know switch is an intelligent device. Okay, switch is not going to do any broadcasting. Okay, switch is not doing any broadcasting, but the attacker is going to play something in this particular place. Okay, so what attacker is doing? The attacker is going to attacker forces to behave as a switch. So attacker is going to handle some techniques. Okay, we are going to see that. By using that particular techniques, we can make the switch to behave like a, okay, like a hub. That means the attacker is going to make a switch to do broadcast. Okay, to do broadcast. So there are different techniques available. This is already we listed out. Okay, we already listed out. So, okay, so by using these techniques, attacker is going to make, okay, the switch to behave like a hub. Okay, it is going, okay, he is going to make to behave like a hub. Okay, technically speaking, the attacker will make the switch to do broadcast. Okay, that is technically. So the attacker will make a switch to do broadcasting. So if it is doing broadcasting means automatically everybody is going to keep, okay, everybody is going to take a copy. So this is concept number 1. Then the second concept is promiscuous mode. What is a promiscuous mode? Means you can see promiscuous mode. So this is one of the very important word, okay, in security. Okay, you study any security. So promiscuous mode is very important. Okay, what is promiscuous mode means? In my laptop, okay, in my laptop, I have a network interface card. Okay, network interface card is available. So I'm connecting my laptop with the network by using the network interface card. In every computer, network interface card is available. Either it is wireless or wired. So if it is a wired means, we can say it is network interface card. If it is wireless means, you can say wireless network interface card. Okay, in your mobile also you are having network interface card. In your laptop, you are having network interface card. So without network interface card, either it is wired or wireless, without that, we cannot connect with the network. Okay, we cannot connect it with a network. Now, this network interface card, you can change the mode of this network interface card. How we can change? How do we can change, or what is that mode? What is the name of that mode? Means from a normal mode to the promiscuous mode we have to change. What is the difference, teacher? What is the normal mode and what is the promiscuous mode? Normal mode means whatever the packets coming to you, okay, only you will receive that. Okay, you will receive the packets which are coming only for you. That is the normal mode. What is promiscuous mode means? In promiscuous mode, you will receive all the packets in your network, whether it is for you or not. Okay, in the promiscuous mode, you will receive all the packets, okay, in your network, whether it is for you or not. Okay, so that is going to be the promiscuous mode. So for sniffing, the promiscuous mode will be very, very useful. So attacker will come with his laptop. Attacker will connect his laptop with any one of the switch available in the network. Then the attacker will make the network interface card, the mode, he will change it to the promiscuous mode, okay, of his laptop. Okay, of the attacker's laptop. Okay, the network interface card available in the network. Okay, so I repeat, network interface card available in the attacker laptop, he will change it to the promiscuous mode. Once if it is changed to the promiscuous mode, automatically he will receive all the packets from the switches. Whether the packet is for him or not, it doesn't matter. All the packets can be easily sniffed. Okay, so two things. So what does that means? The first thing is the attacker will force the devices. The attacker will force the devices. We are going to see the example in the coming slides. So the attacker will force a device, or that means he will force the switch to behave like a hub. Okay, this is concept number one. The second concept is the attacker will put the network interface card in the promiscuous mode. So what is promiscuous mode means? The attacker will receive all the packets of a network. So that is going to be the promiscuous mode. So these are the two different modes available. Okay, the two different modes available, or two different ways available, how the sniffing is working. Okay, how the sniffing concept is working. Now, you can see here. Okay, there are some small examples they are giving here. The attacker connect his laptop to a switch port, to a switch. So this is a switch. Okay, this layer 2 device is available. So the attacker is connecting the switch, okay, his laptop to the switch, laptop or PC, anything. Then in this machine, okay, in his machine, in the attacker's machine, the attacker is going to enable, okay, the network interface card is going to enable into promiscuous mode. He is going to put it into the promiscuous mode. So once if you put it in the promiscuous mode, now he is ready. He can collect all the packets of all the users. Okay, so enable the network interface card, to enable the network interface card into promiscuous mode. Then you can use some tools. Some tools you can use. Okay, very easy tool is a Wireshark. Okay, the very popular tool is Wireshark. So you can run the Wireshark tool. So the Wireshark tool, okay, if you run, automatically in the network interface card, okay, it is going to collect all the packets. So everybody is going to be the victim. Okay, so see, I have 6 users in the networks. So all the packets the attacker is going to receive. Okay, very simple technique. Okay, so you have to enable your network interface card, okay, into the promiscuous mode, step number 1. And you can have any, okay, tool, okay, any tool. So the very popular tool is Wireshark. So if you enable the Wireshark, if you run the Wireshark, automatically you can collect all the packets from your network. Okay, so this is how, okay, the sniffing concept is working. Now we'll go for another step, another method. Okay, what is another method means? You can see here the same, almost the same thing. You see, this is the sender and the receiver. Now, without their knowledge, okay, without their knowledge, I'm going to collect. Okay, this is called man in the middle attack. Okay, man in the middle attack. So the attacker is going to collect everything, all the packets of, okay, the sender and the receiver. Okay, the attacker is going to collect. Okay, so this is, there are different methods, but basically this is the method. What is the basic thing means? One is the Prometheus mode. The second one, okay, you can enable, you can make a device to work as a hub. Third one, you can use some tapping method. Tapping method means like cutting the wires. You can cut the wire, okay, and you can make a third connection from that and you can use it. Okay, so this is the method. So using these methods, so the attacker can easily sniff. Okay, the attackers can easily sniff the packets of others. Okay, this is general type. Okay, the diagrams which are given is very, okay, generic manner. Okay, it is not technical. We are going to see some technical concepts. Okay, how it is working in the coming slides. Now, protocols. So which protocols are more vulnerable for sniffing? Means you can see the protocols. The first protocol is HTTP protocol. So using the HTTP protocol, you can transfer the HTML documents. Okay, you can transfer the HTML documents from one machine to another machine. So sniffing is possible for these HTTP documents. That means HTTP packets easily you can sniff. Number one. Number two, SMTP. This is called email sniffing. You can sniff the other's email. SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. Then Network News Transfer Protocol. Okay, Network News Transfer Protocol. Then POP, POP. This is the Post Office Protocol. So this protocol will be used for, okay, email. Okay, for the email. So POP protocol also, it is vulnerable for sniffing. FTP protocol, file transfer protocol. This protocol will be used to transfer the files, okay, or to send and receive the files. So FTP protocol is vulnerable for sniffing. IMAP, IMAP protocol. So Internet Message Access Protocol. So this is almost same like the SMTP. And this is also, okay, sending the messages. And this protocol is also vulnerable for sniffing. Telnet protocol. Telnet protocol, you no need to tell. It's by default. It is okay. It's vulnerable. Okay, because a Telnet protocol, it is going to be a plain text protocol. No encryption in that. Okay, it will never do any encryption. So it is by default. It is a vulnerable protocol. So these are all the protocols vulnerable. So you can do sniffing in any of this protocol. Okay, in any of this protocol, easily you can sniff. So any means everything finished. Okay, because most of the packets we are going to send it as a HTML packets. I mean the HTTP packets. Okay, then some will be FTP. Okay, IMAP, email. So everything is okay vulnerable to sniffing. Okay, this is the list of protocols which are vulnerable to sniffing. Now, the next concept is you can use, okay, we already discussed, the attackers can make a device to behave like a, to behave like a hub. This is one technique available. The attacker can, okay, connect the cable, okay, inside the other's networks, and he can put his own network interface code in the Prometheus mode, and he can do sniffing. A attacker can run some sniffing tools. Okay, a attacker can run some sniffing tools, so like Wireshark, some tools they can run. So these are all, okay, some software based. Now you can see there are some tools available. Okay, tools available. What is the tools means? They are called, okay, protocol analyzer tools. Okay, even we have this tool, one tool in our college. We have one. So what is the use of this device means? This is, okay, a device. So this will be like in the size of a tissue box. Okay, in the tissue box size. You can just insert this, okay, using a cable, a network cable. You can take it. You can insert the network cable. The other end, you can connect it in your network. Okay, that is enough. So this device, what it will do means, it will capture all the packets in your network okay, and it will give the statistics. Okay, you can see a very beautiful picture is given here. So it will display, okay, the information about your, okay, the packets, okay, how many packets, what are the types of packets, okay, the complete information about your network it will give. So this is called network protocol analyzer tools. This tool is an hardware tools. Okay, whatever we discussed above, it is related to the software, but this tool is going to be the hardware based. And this tool, okay, protocol analyzer tools available. There are so many companies, they are manufacturing this. By using these tools, you can do the complete analysis about your packets, about your network. So how many packets created, how many packets are available in your network, what type of packets are going, which packet is more, okay, what is the size of the packet, complete, okay, traffic analysis we can do it. So if an attacker is having this tool, and easily the attacker can connect in any one of the networking port. Okay, I'm sitting in my room now. So I connected my laptop in the college, okay, port. So there is a okay, what is it, RJ45 connector available. So attacker can insert it in, okay, the tool in the RJ45 connector, and he can monitor the entire network. So what is going on in the network, what type of packets, what is the size of the packet. So the complete thing the attacker can analyze. Okay, so this is called hardware protocol analyzer. So hardware also you can be used, softwares can also be used for sniffing concept. Okay, so that is a point what I want to convey here. Now, the next concept is wire tapping. So what is wire tapping means? Okay, this is very common. Even you can find it in the news. Phone tapping. What is phone tapping? So if you're using a phone, okay, you're talking to someone. At the same time, somebody can listen to this. Okay, even sometimes this will be like in the governments officially they can do this. Okay, they can monitor some telephone numbers. Okay, some suspects, some problems means they can suspect somebody and their phone can be traced. They can trace their phone, okay, to whom they are talking, what they are talking. So everything they can, okay, everything they can easily track. Okay, they can record everything. So this is called wiretapping concepts. Okay, so you are having an internet connection in your home. Okay, I'm telling an example. Okay, so you are using an internet connection, there is a cable available. Okay, the cable is connecting you and, okay, your internet service provider. So somebody can cut that cable and they can put some connector. So usually it is called the T connector. They can just put a T connector and they can take a copy of your link and they can monitor you, what you are doing. So if you see if you watch some Hollywood movies, okay, action movies, okay, that will be very common. Okay, so they can use some laptops, some devices, okay, by sitting in the car, they will connect it in the other's network and they will monitor what they are doing. So this is going to be the wiretapping concept. Okay, so you can use the telephone monitoring, internet conversations by the third party. Okay, so easily you can monitor. So you can monitor, you can intercept, you can access, you can record, okay, whatever the data flow from a source to the destination. Okay, from a source to the destination, whatever things going on, we can easily monitor, intercept, access, record, everything you can do. Okay, so wiretapping can be done in the following ways: the official or unofficial tapping of telephone lines. Okay, this is officially okay doing, unofficially, okay, it's okay, people are doing. Okay, even in the government sectors, okay, intelligent agencies, okay, they can do all these activities. Okay, so they can record even whatever we are talking, okay, in our mobile phone. This is also recordable. Okay, it is also recordable for the security purpose. They can do it. So recording the conversation, direct line wiretapping. So wiretapping means cutting the cable. Just to cut a cable, make another connection from that. So like T connection, that will be a T connection, and you can just use it and you can monitor what the other persons are doing. So this is called the wiretapping concept. This is also a possible one. Now, there are two different types of wire tapping. One is called the active wiretapping and second one is the passive wiretapping. So active wiretapping means this is called man in the middle attack. Okay, so active means man in the middle attack. So this is going to monitor record the traffic or the data flow in the communication system and also alter or inject. This is the point. They are not only going to monitor and listen, they can also change. Okay, this is called active. So they can change the data available in the packets. Okay, they can delete something, they can inject something. So they are going to do some manipulation in the packet level. Okay, a packet level manipulation will be done in the packets and it will be sent. This is called active wiretapping. But in the passive wiretapping, what they are going to do, simply it will be recorded. Everything will be recorded. That's it. They are not going to do any, altering, any changes, okay, injecting any data. Okay, they are not going to do anything. Simply everything will be recorded. Okay, that is going to be a passive sniffing. Okay, recorded, and they can get some information from that. Okay, any confidential information or any username, password, they can collect it, but they are not going to do any changes to the packet. Okay, so this is going to be the passive wiretapping. So active wiretapping, passive wiretapping. So in active wiretapping, something will be injected, something will be deleted or manipulated inside the packet, and it will be sent to you. Whereas here in the in the passive wiretapping, okay, they are not going to inject or anything. Simply they are going to monitor, they are going to observe you. They can collect the data, whatever you are sending, they can collect. So this is called the passive wiretapping method. Now, the next topic is types of sniffing. If you take types of sniffing, there are so many types available, but we are going to discuss only 4 different types of sniffing in this, okay, in our slides. So the first one is MAC attacks. Second one, it is a DHCP. Third one is DNS. And fourth one is ARP, okay, Address Resolution Protocol. So if you complete all these 4, then we will see the countermeasures. Okay, with that, the lecture will be over. Now, I'm going for the MAC attacks. Okay, please take it. Each and everything is a long answer question. Okay, so MAC attack, this is one long answer question. DHCP, DNS, ARP. Okay, this is everything is a long answer question. Now, I'm going for the first concept, which is called MAC flooding concept. So how the attackers, okay, how the attackers can use, okay, a switch, okay, for sniffing. That is MAC flooding concept we are going to discuss. Now, you can see this is a switch. Okay, please follow, see the diagram. This is a switch. So a switch is an intelligent device. Switch is not going to do any broadcast. So if it is not doing broadcast, so automatically you cannot have sniffing. Okay, you cannot sniff. You will receive only your packet. But what attacker is going to do means the attacker is going to play with this switch. How? Now you can say, take this person C. Mac C is the attacker. Okay, Mac C is the attacker. Okay, he is the attacker now. Now, if you take a switch is going to maintain a table. Okay, a switch is going to maintain a table. Router is maintaining a table. What is the name of the table? That is called the routing table. Okay, the router will maintain a routing table. Same, okay, switch is going to maintain a table. What is the name of the table means there are different names available. You can say switch table, or you can say MAC address table, or you can say, okay, CAM, C-A-M, CAM table. So CAM means content addressable memory. Okay, it is already available in the previous slides. You can refer it later. So content addressable memory, okay, CAM table. So what is the CAM table having means? The CAM table is going to maintain, okay, you can say the port and the MAC address. Okay, that means port number. In port number 1, who is connected? That means what is the MAC address of the machine connected. In port number 2, okay, what is connected? In port number 3, what is connected? Okay, so this is the list. Now, in this network, this is a small local area network. I'm having a switch here. Okay, I connected 3 computers. I'm connecting here. So, in the MAC address, there will be 3 rows. Okay, 3 rows allowed. Maximum 3 rows, only 3 computers connected. Now, port number 1, port number 2, port number 3. Okay, in port number 1, A is connected. So port number 1 should be here, A is connected. In port number 2, B is connected. Port number 3, okay, C is connected. So this is exactly what you need. That is correct. But in this case, there is something different is available. So what is that? The attacker is creating like this. The attacker is creating like this. What is, okay, how it is possible? Now you see. I'm going for the attacker C. Now, the attacker is sending a broadcast packet or is sending some packet to someone. Okay, now the packet is coming to the switch. The switch is understanding in port number 3, C is available, C is connected. So now, so in the switch, it will be updated. What is updated? Okay, in port number 3, C is available. Okay, it will be updated. Now, second time, the attacker is going to send the next packet. What is the next packet means? Now he is changing his MAC address. Okay, is changing his MAC address. We already discussed IP snooping. Okay, IP snooping means you are not going to give your own IP address. Okay, you are giving a different IP address, somebody's IP address, a fake IP address you are giving. Now, the same concept, I'm not giving my IP address, sorry, I'm not giving my MAC address, I'm giving somebody's MAC address, a fake MAC address now he is giving. Now, he is sending a packet with a fake MAC address. Fake MAC address, for example, it is Y. Now, he is sending a packet, okay, to the switch. Now, the switch is learning, okay, MAC address Y is connected in port number 3. Okay, it is connected in port number 3, so it is updated. Next time. So the next time, the attacker is going to send another packet the attacker is sending. So here now he is writing, my MAC address is X. Now the packet is going to the switch. Now switch is saying, okay, MAC address X, it is available in port number 3. So the attacker now made this table full. The camp table becomes full. So the attacker is filling the camp table, okay, is filling the camp table, okay. So that is content addressable memory table, or we can say it is a MAC address table. So the MAC address table is becoming full. So once if it is becoming full, the others means like A and B, they cannot update. Okay, if they cannot update anything in this okay camp table because it is already full with the fake information. Okay, the information is going to be fake. Okay, a fake information is used and completely the table becomes full. Okay, now the attacker, okay, now sorry, not the attacker, now A wants to send a packet to B. Okay, A wants to send the packets to B. Okay, now the packet from A is coming to the switch. Now switch wants to write it in the switch table. What is that? A is available in port number 1, but unfortunately it is becoming full. And also, where is B? Okay, where is available? B is available. I'm searching. Okay, that means the switch is searching. The information about B is not available here. So what the switch is going to do means the switch is going to broadcast the packet. I don't know where B is connected. So I'm broadcasting your packet. Now the packet will be broadcasted to everybody. So attacker is getting the packet, okay, of A to B. The packet, a copy of the packet is receiving. Now he is doing sniffing. Okay, so this is called MAC flooding concept. Okay, I repeat in a very simple way. I just give you a summary. Attacker, first, he will fill the table. He will fill the MAC address table. Okay, this is the MAC. Okay, this is the switch. The switch is going to have the MAC address table. Okay, so there are 3 computers connected, means maximum 3 lines will be available. So now the attacker is going to completely fill it with the fake information. He is going to fill it. So once if it is filled means immediately either A or B, that means the legitimate users, if they send the packet, automatically this packet will be broadcasted to all in the network. So the attacker is going to sniff, he is going to get a copy of the packet very easily. So this concept is called MAC flooding concept. Okay, MAC flooding concept. Now, how we can avoid this? How we can stop this? This is lab number 1. Okay, I don't know whether you remember or not. One day we started the lab and we stopped, okay, because of some errors. So what is that error means? Okay, that is called the port security. What is that lab means? Port security is the lab. So using the port security, okay, using the port security, we can stop, okay, we can stop this particular attack. So what is port security? Okay, now what I'm going to do, okay, now if you do the lab, you will understand. Now you can see. So the port security means now I'm going to apply the port security here in the switch. What does that means? For every port, only one information you can send. Only one MAC address you can send. You cannot send more than one MAC address. Okay, now you see in this case, for port number 3, we have 3 MAC addresses. Port number 3, X is connected. Port number 3, Y is connected. Port number 3, C is connected. Only the last line is correct, but the first 2 lines are, okay, false. So this you can avoid by using the port security concept. So in a port security, what we are going to do, we are going to have some restriction for every port. So port number 3 means you can update only one MAC address. You cannot write more than one MAC address, second MAC address, third MAC address. If anything, if you write, automatically, okay, it will be deleted. So it will be blocked. So using the port security method, okay, easily you can avoid MAC flooding concept. Okay, so the defense technique for the MAC flooding is we have the switch port. Okay, this is the lab we are going to see. Okay, by using the packet tracer. Okay, so in packet tracer we can apply this, okay, switch port security, and you can avoid MAC flooding concept. Okay, so this is the first method. Now, sniffing techniques or types of sniffing. So the first one is the MAC. So how the MAC concept will be used by the attackers to sniff the packets. Okay, this is the first concept. Now, I'm going for the second concept. So what is the second concept means? The second one is going to be the DHCP. So how the DHCP will be used by the attackers to sniff the network packets, okay, or to sniff the packets in a network. So how the attackers is going to use the DHCP concept. Okay, now let me go to the second. The second sniffing concept is DHCP. So we know what is DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. By using this protocol, by using the DHCP or DHCP concept, so we are going to assign the IP address. Okay, the IP address will be assigned to all in a network. Okay, by using DHCP. Now you can see, I'm just show you here diagram. So you can see how the DHCP is working. So if you take DHCP, there are 4 different steps. Okay, there are 4 different steps available in DHCP. That is DORA, D-O-R-A. Okay, DORA steps. What does that means? Discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. Okay, these are the 4 different steps. So the first step is called the discover step. So what is discovering? So what is discovering means? Now you see, this is the user. Okay, the user needs an IP address. Okay, I need an IP address, either IPv4 address or IPv6 address, anything. I need a IP address. So what the user is going to do? The user is going to do a broadcast in the network. Okay, that means I'm going to shout, who is the DHCP? I need a IP address. Okay, so the user is going to shout, the user is going to broadcast. Okay, so who is the DHCP in this network? So please give me a IP address. Okay, this is called discover. Now, so the discover of, okay, this is going to the DHCP server. Okay, DHCP server. Now, the DHCP server will give you the offer. Okay, offer means the DHCP server will give, okay, it will give a reply, okay, with MAC address. Okay, with the proper MAC address, with the proper IP address, it is going to give a reply. Okay, this is going to be broadcast. And this is going to be, I'm going to get the correct IP address and the MAC address of my DHCP. Then I'm requesting the IP address. Okay, you can do anything, IPv4 address or IPv6 address, anything, no problem. So I'm going to request the IP address. Now, finally, the IP address will be given to you. Okay, the IP address is going to be, okay, you are going to give an, okay, you are going to get an IP address. So what is this means? Okay, these are the 4 steps. Okay, the first step is discover. Second step is called offer. Third step is called request. And the fourth one is called the acknowledgement. Now, so the attacker is going to use this concept for sniffing. Okay, what does that means? The attacker is going to create, okay, the attacker is going to create a situation which is called DHCP starvation. Okay, the attacker is trying to create, okay, a situation which is called a DHCP starvation concept. What is starvation? What is the meaning for the word starvation? Okay, we heard about this in the news, food starvation. Now for the COVID, okay, vaccine starvation. That means not enough. Okay, water scarcity. So that means things not available, enough things not available. That is called starvation. Okay, so now the attacker is going to create artificially he is going to create a starvation in the network. What is that starvation means? Now you see this. So this is a DHCP server and he is the attacker. So every time the attacker is changing his MAC address. Okay, every time the attacker is changing his IP address. Okay, MAC address. MAC address 10. Sorry, MAC address A. Okay, let me start with A. I am, okay, a computer with MAC address A, give me a IP address. The attacker is giving a request. Now, the DHCP server will give you an IP address. Okay, for example, 10.0.0.1. Then, the next time, the attacker will change the MAC address. I am MAC address B. Give me an IP address. Now the server is going to give, okay, take the IP address 10.0.0.2. Then next time, I am MAC address C. Okay, give me IP address. Now the DHCP server will give the another IP address 10.0.0.3. So now what, okay, the attacker is doing, the attacker is getting more IP address for him with a different MAC address. Okay, with a different MAC address, the attacker is getting the IP address. So now suppose 100 IP address available here. Okay, 100 IP address available here. Now all the IP 100 IP address, now the attacker is going to get. Okay, all the IP address, all the 100 IP address, the attacker is getting by using the, okay, fake MAC address. Okay, he is getting. Now a new user, a genuine user, a legitimate user is coming. Now the legitimate user is going to do, okay, broadcasting. The first step, what is the first step? Discover step. Okay, is giving a discover step, but the DHCP server cannot offer an IP address to him. Okay, because already the IP address is over. Okay, DHCP starvation is coming. So now whatever he is forwarding, okay, the copy, okay, the attacker is going to receive. Okay, the attacker is going to receive. So again, the user is broadcasting something, okay, he is going to get a copy again. So finally, that the user will never get an IP address because the IP address, okay, is already completed, everything is over, and this will be created, okay, it will be created by the attacker artificially in a network. Okay, so this is called DHCP sniffing. So a legitimate user is unable to obtain or renew an IP address. Okay, a legitimate user cannot get, okay, or he cannot renew his IP address or he cannot get a IP address. Okay, go for very simple. Okay, the legitimate user unable to get a new IP address. He cannot get any new IP address, okay, from the DHCP, failing access to the network. So this is the, okay, artificially the attacker is creating a DHCP starvation in the network, and then he can, okay, sniff the others packet. So this is the second concept, which is called DHCP sniffing concept. Now, I'm going, okay, defense. How we can stop? How we can protect this means, again, the same concept, port security. Port security is the only solution for this also. That means in each port, okay, you can see the attacker is connected here in only one port number, only one port number 1, 2, 3, 4 means in one port, the attacker will be connected. So you can have port security, you can enable the port security. So the port security means the port security is going to stop. If you are giving more than one MAC address, it will stop. So using the port security, you can avoid, okay, you can stop this DHCP starvation attack. Okay, so that is a concept. Now, I'm going for the third concept. So what is the third concept means? The third one is ARP, Address Resolution Protocol. Okay, what is Address Resolution Protocol means? It is a protocol which is used to find the MAC address of any device by using the IP address. Okay, I'm having the IP address of a machine. So the IP address is, for example, I have the IP address 10.0.0.1. So I want to know what is the MAC address. Okay, so without knowing the MAC address, we cannot communicate with that device. So I need MAC address means you can use the ARP protocol. Okay, you can use the ARP protocol. So by using the ARP protocol, we can find, okay, we can map, or we can find, okay, what is the suitable MAC address, what is the MAC address of 10.0.0.1, we can get it. Okay, this is the concept of ARP. Okay, ARP request, ARP reply. So in the ARP request, I'm going to request the MAC address of a destination. So the destination will give the MAC address to me. Now, the attackers. So the attackers is going to use this concept, the ARP concept, okay, they are going to use and they are going to do the attack. You can see in the next slide, okay, there is a diagram available. So by using this diagram, I'm going to explain. Now, you can see, this is a legitimate user. Okay, he is a legitimate user, and this is an attacker. So there are three computers connected here. Okay, this is 1, 2, and 3. There are three computers connected here. So this is a legitimate user. Okay, please follow the mouse. This is a legitimate user, and this is another legitimate user, and this person is going to be the attacker. Then the switch is connected in the internet. Okay, so this is a local area network. Now, so this person, okay, that means the legitimate user, he wants to know, hi, 10.1.1.1, are you there? That means I want to know the MAC address of 10.1.1.1. Okay, I want to find the IP address, sorry, MAC address of 10.1.1.1. Okay, now, so this person is sending a ARP request packet. Legitimate user sends the ARP request, okay, which the switch broadcasts to the wire. So on the wire. Now, this person is sending a ARP request packet. The ARP request packet, okay, coming to the switch. Now, switch is going to do broadcast. Okay, switch is going to do broadcast. Okay, that means the request will be broadcast. Reply, okay, no broadcast. Now you see. So this person is giving the request. Now the request will go to this machine and the request will come to the attacker. So everybody is getting a copy. Now the legitimate user will reply. Attacker should not reply. Okay, should not reply. Okay, because he is not 10.0.10.1.1.1. He is not 10.1.1.1. So the attacker should not reply. Okay, now, so this person is going to give the reply. Okay, So another legitimate user, this is the another legitimate user, responds to the ARP request. So he is going to respond. He is going to give the response, okay, to the ARP request. What is the response? Okay, you say, yes, I am 10.1.1.1 and my MAC address is, okay, 1.2, 1:3:4:5:6. So this is my MAC address. Now this person is giving the reply. Reply is not going to be broadcast. Only the request will be broadcasted. Okay, so this is step number 2. Now, this attacker is very smart. He is very smart. So he got already the ARP request packet. He already got. Okay, the ARP request packet from, okay, the legitimate user, from this user he got. Now, the malicious user eavesdrops the ARP request. He is having the ARP request and responds after the legitimate user, okay, spoofing the legitimate response and sending his malicious MAC address to the originator. That means this person now is going to create. He is creating. Okay, he is going to create a, okay, bogus packet. Okay, he is going to create, what to say, a fake reply he is going to create. So what is available? Okay, I am 10.0.1.1. Okay, and my MAC address is going to give a fake MAC address. Okay, see, information for the IP address 10.0.0.1 is being sent to the MAC address. So 9.8. Okay, he's fixing some MAC address, and this MAC address will be sent to this particular person. Now, you just imagine what is happening. So the legitimate user, he got 2 MAC address for single IP address. For single IP address, for only one IP address, he got 2 MAC address. So this is a confusing state. Now, okay, now if he is giving a reply, if this person is giving a reply, means to which one he is going to give the reply. There are 2 MAC addresses available. Then in the switch also, the switch is also going to record it. He is also going to write it in the MAC table. That means in the CAM table. So in the CAM table, again, there will be 2 different entries will be available. Okay, that means 10.0.0.1 is available in the port number 2. 10.1.1. Okay, that means two times it is going to enter. It is same like previous one. Okay, sorry, MAC address 1.2.1:2:3:5:6 is available in this place. And then, okay, 9.8.7, okay, it is available in this place. So now the attacker is in a confused state. That means, sorry, the legitimate user in a confused state. So he got 2 MAC address for a single IP address. Okay, so now you can see, suppose if he is sending a packet, again, reply means the reply will go to both. Okay, the reply will go to both the person, both the legitimate and also to the attackers, so that the attacker can take all the packets coming from the first person. Attacker can take. So a attacker can play. Okay, he can play with, okay, these types of packets, and he can force the legitimate user to send the data to the attackers. Okay, so this is the ARP spoofing concept. Again, what is the solution? What is the defense for this? Okay, what is the defense means? You can have, okay, here the defense is going to be slightly different. So what is the defense technique means? You can say dynamic ARP inspection. So this is one of a very important feature, okay, a security feature. Okay, dynamic ARP inspection feature, AI. We are not going to do it in the lab, only theoretically we are going to study, but port security we are going to do, okay, in our lab. Okay, that is going to be the first lab we are going to start. So in that we are going to see how to implement the port security. We can study it later. Now, so DAI, what is DAI means? Dynamic ARP inspection. So this is one of the concept which is available, okay, in the ARP protocol. So by using this concept, we can avoid or we can stop, okay, the ARP spoofing concept, we can stop. Now, so these attacks cannot be prevented. It cannot be prevented by using the port security only. So port security only is not enough for this. Access control list. This is our second lab. Access control list we are going to do. So access control list means it will be like a firewall. Okay, so access control list and other well-known security features. Okay, this is not going to use, but which is going to be very useful means DAI, dynamic ARP inspection. So only this particular concept will be useful for avoiding the attacks using ARP. Now, so DIA is used to prevent the ARP poisoning attack. Okay, what is ARP poisoning attack? So ARP poisoning attack means the next one, the next concept we are going to see, that is called the DNS poisoning. So what is poisoning? Generally, what is the meaning for the word poisoning here means giving some fake information. Okay, that means I'm here. You are going to ask my name. What is your name? Okay, I'm going to tell my name. Okay, because my name is available in my mind, so I'm giving my name. Now, if somebody else, okay, somebody else is going to change my mind, they are going to corrupt my mind by using some techniques. Okay, somebody is going to corrupt my mind. Now they're asking, somebody is asking, what is your name means? I'm going to give a wrong answer for them. This is called poisoning concept. So what is poisoning means? Somebody, they are going to corrupt your ARP, or they are going to corrupt your, the next one is a DNS. Okay, I'm just covering both. So somebody is going to corrupt a DNS server, or somebody going to corrupt a ARP so that it will give a fake answer. It will give a fake answer to them. So what what ARP is going to do? If you give your IP address, okay, IP address 10.0.0.1, I want to know the MAC address. So it should give the correct MAC address. But if you do poisoning, it will give a fake output, it will give. Same thing. If you go for DNS, in DNS, I'm going to give what is the IP address of facebook.com. So facebook.com is the name of your domain. So this domain name should be converted. Okay, the domain name should be converted into IP address or mapped to the IP address. So if it is the poison, if the DNS is poisoned means automatically your DNS machine is not going to give the correct data. The DNS machine is going to give a fake data to you. So that means the fake IP address, it will give it to you. So this is the concept. So ARP poisoning, in ARP poisoning, so the MAC address will be corrupted or it will be poisoned so that you are not going to get a correct information from this. Now you can see it is enabled per VLAN using a global command. Okay, this is a command in the Cisco routers. You can use this particular command. Okay, so this command is IP ARP inspection. So by using these commands, okay, IP ARP inspection commands. So if you study CCNA, okay, or if you study the CCIE, you will study about these commands. Okay, we are not going to implement it. So IP ARP inspection, okay, inspection VLAN 1020, okay, whatever the VLAN number, or you can use the commands like this, okay, IP ARP inspection trust. So you can use any of this command, okay, and you can stop. So what is the concept here? Okay, dynamic ARP inspection. Okay, that is the concept, the security feature which is available in the ARP protocol. So this concept will be used, okay, in your networks, and you can avoid the ARP snooping attacks. Now, I'm going for the last one, the last concept here. So the last concept is going to be the DNS. So what is DNS poisoning? Okay, already I explained to you. I repeat, what is DNS first? So DNS is a machine, okay, in which the name of the domains and the corresponding IP address are already registered or recorded or stored in a database. Okay, it is stored in a database. Now, so whenever a user, okay, I am a user, I want to know the IP address of google.com or facebook.com. So what I can do means my machine is going to communicate. Okay, my machine is going to communicate with the DNS machine. So from the DNS machine, okay, my machine is going to take the IP address of facebook.com. After that, my machine will communicate with facebook.com. Now, the attackers, what the attackers will do means the attackers will poison the DNS machines. That means the attacker will inject a fake information. Okay, they will inject a fake information about some domains in the DNS machine. Okay, see, DNS poisoning is a technique that tricks a DNS server into believing that it has received an authentic information when it is ready. It has not. So in reality, it is not. Okay, what does that means? The attacker is going to inject a wrong information or a fake information in the DNS machine, okay, so that it will act like a Facebook. Okay, how teacher, how this is happening? I will give you a very simple IP, okay, example. You see, facebook.com, okay, we can take this as an example. Now I'm an ordinary user. I'm giving a request. Okay, I'm giving a request to the DNS machine. I want to know the IP address of facebook.com. Okay, now the DNS machine is giving the IP address to me. Okay, I found the IP address. Now I'm going to create a packet. What is a packet? The source IP address, I'm going to use the Facebook IP address I'm going to use. Destination to the DNS machine. Now I'm writing, what is the message? We are from Facebook. We updated. We changed. Okay, we changed our IP address from today. So our IP address is 10.0.0.1. It is changed to 10.0.0.2. I'm writing and sending. The attacker is sending the packet. If there is no proper security is implemented, means after receiving it, the DNS machine is going to see, yes, this is coming from Facebook. So we have to change the IP address. They will change the IP address. So now the DNS machine is poisoned. So a fake IP address is now entered. Okay. Now, if somebody, a legitimate user is going to communicate with the the DNS means the DNS will give only the fake address to them. This is the concept. So DNS poisoning is also a method used by the attackers so that, okay, a fake IP address or the fake information will be injected, okay, inside the DNS machine. Okay, there are so many other things also available. They are not covering here. DNS cache poisoning also available. So it is not covered. Okay, generally, what is a DNS poisoning? Okay, this is. So an attacker can create a fake DNS entries for the server, which may not contain the which may contain so the malicious content of the same. Okay, so what attacker will do? Attacker will give the fake IP address. What is that fake IP address means? The fake IP address will be the attacker's website. Okay, the attacker's, somebody wants to go to Facebook, means it will take to some other website. So that is going to be a malicious website of the attacker. Okay, so this is about the DNS. Now, so what are the techniques? Defense techniques means the defense techniques must be implemented in the DNS machine. Okay, ordinary users cannot do anything because we are all dependent on DNS machines. So inside the DNS machine, we need some types of security we need to avoid DNS poisoning. Okay, what is that? You can see. Resolve all DNS queries to the local DNS machines. So that means we have to depend on the local DNS servers, number one. Then block the DNS request from going to the external servers. So which is connecting some external things. External servers means, okay, that request should be blocked. Configure the firewall to restrict the entry. Okay, to restrict the external DNS lookup. Okay, configure the firewall. You can make it very easy, very simple. So a proper configuration of firewall should be available. Implement, okay, intrusion detection system or DNSSEC, DNS security. Use DNS non-existence domain. That means, okay, that is rate limiting. Rate limiting means the numbers of request. So these are all some of the techniques available, the defense techniques available. So you can use any of these techniques and you can control, okay, you can control the DNS poisoning concepts. Now, so the last one, tools, sniffing tools. What are all the popular sniffing tools? Okay, there are plenty of tools available. As I already told, the very popular tool is the Wireshark. So using Wireshark, you can do a lot of things. Now, usage. What is that usage means? ethical and unethical. So ethically, you can use these tools, and unethically, you can use these tools. So if you use unethically means you are going to be an attacker. If you use these tools ethically means you are going to be an ethical hacker for your organization. So if you are using in an ethical way, okay, the packet capturing means you can do the analysis of your network, what type of packets available in your network, okay, how many packets are created in every minute, what is the size of the packets, what are the types of packets. So you can do some, okay, analysis about your network, and you can make your network, okay, very effective. Okay, and you can do some troubleshooting. If there is any problem available in your network, you can fix all these things. That means you can use these sniffing tools for a good thing, for a good cause. Okay, for the network management, you can use it. Same thing, okay, you can use it for unethical way. So in unethical way, how you can use it means you can find the sensitive information. That means like username, passwords, and you can still, okay, the chatting. If somebody is chatting, you can find what they are doing. Okay, so that is called the data theft. And also for the monetary or the reputational damage, monetary benefits, you can get the what is that? You can get the credit card numbers of the others. You can get some username, password. So unethical way also you can use it. Ethical way also you can use it. So what we are studying in our course means we are going to study only how to use ethically. So how we can use these tools in an ethical way, not in an unethical way. Okay. So as far as this lecture is concerned, there are two labs available. So the first lab is the port security. Okay, port security is one of the lab, okay, we are going to use, and also access control list. Okay, so that is going to be the packet filtering firewall. So how to implement access control list, okay, in Packet Tracer. Okay, by using Packet Tracer, we are going to implement two things. Okay, one is the port security, and another one is the access control list. So these two things we are going to do. Okay, we are going to do it as a lab part. So with this, so what we studied in this lecture means what is sniffing, how the sniffing, okay, or the sniffing concept is working. Then we discussed about the protocols. So what are all the protocols vulnerable for sniffing? Then we discussed about the wiretapping concepts, okay, active and passive. Then types of sniffing. So in types of sniffing, we discussed about the DNS, ARP, DHCP. Okay, so this is, and finally, we discussed about the sniffing tool usage. So how you can use it, so ethically and unethically. Okay, so this is the end of this lecture.